Today on the workbench is an old potato computer with an Intel Core 2 Quad 8200 with a gigabyte mainboard, 4 gig of DDR2, some old stuff in that, and a lightning fast Nvidia GT8600. Should add, it also contains a massive 256 meg of DDR2 Ram. Anyway, let's put this card in there and get this potato going. First thing we should notice, the resolution is currently 853 by 480 with everything set on low. Right now, fallen from the sky, there's not a chance that you could play this game. There's simply just not enough VRAM to actually hold or even help cache anything in this game. It's not too bad once we hit ground level, which I'll skip forward to that, but as you can see, it's running like a potato. And here we go down at ground level, where we can see the textures just virtually aren't loading, and also the effects from destroying stuff are just terrible. Makes it look like an old NES game. But anyway, it is almost playable at this rate. Granted, the visual effects are quite terrible, but if you were that desperate to play it, you could almost get away with it, or you could just simply pull out your iPhone, and hopefully it'll be on Android soon, and you just simply play it on there. Definitely some frame stutters going on. Anyway, I'll fast forward a bit further. And here we are, first encounter of a player, and also the first death. And down he goes. Gone. So, yeah, that frame rate's quite terrible. Wouldn't even attempt it with anything less than probably at least 1 gig of VRAM, where this was running 256, which is definitely unplayable. Now let's help this potato actually render. So we're going to take out and throw away the GT8600, and in its place we're going to fast forward a decade to present time and put in a GT1030 low profile 2 gig of DDR5 RAM. And here we go into settings. We can actually run it at native 1080 resolution, everything on near and low, but at least that's a hell of a lot better. As we can see from takeoff, running a lot smoother, a lot prettier. There's actually textures going on as opposed to just brown blotches. So far so good. And as we come into land, you can actually see that there is textures already loaded as opposed to brown blobs. The game itself is running relatively smoothly, as you can see up near the map there, getting above about 20 to 30 frames per second, mostly sticking around 60 once we hit the land, which is definitely a considerable amount better compared to that decade-old potato. Just fast forward it a bit, and as you can see, in open areas it's relatively smooth, seems to be a constant 60 FPS. Do take note, the only thing that's been changed over so far is the graphics card. It's still just an Intel Core 2 Quad, or 8200, with 4 gig of DDR2, and now we've got a 2 gig GT1030 installed. This is all running on Windows 7, Windows 7 fully updated. I haven't bothered putting Windows 10 on this potato. As we can see, everything's loading relatively smoothly. Granted, I haven't tried it out in battles, but one-on-one and just running around, it's looking good, it's playing smoothly, it's worthwhile checking out. So if you've got an absolute potato, it might be worthwhile spending up to $100 to put a GT1030 in and go from there. Anyway, I'll catch you later.